some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello and welcome to episode 57 of FANGIN and BANGIN with Gangrel and I guess Raymond over there in the corner. Soon, I keep saying this because I know everybody's tired of listening to me by myself or Raymond in the shadows. But I believe I found someone who's going to come in there and sit in that chair. We've had him in here before. He's from Chile, wherever. But I'm going to reach back out to him. But I know he's offered to come in, Mr. Ariel Levy. Do you remember Ariel being in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did 44 movies. He's a bigger wrestling fan than you. I'm not even sure you're a wrestling fan anymore.
Oh, wow.
Well, he knows more about myself than I know about myself. So I'm going to reach back out to him actually today when we get out of here. And I believe next week or next time we're on here, episode 58, there's Anna, my former, texting me. I don't know what's going on there. Nobody hangs with me, Raymond. I think I got some BO or I got some issues.
I just had a random idea.
She's texting me pictures. She's stealing her mom's clothes. What's up with that?
She's maturing.
No, maturing, taking her mom's clothes. LOL, Anna, I'm doing the podcast.
You ever seen a show like Love of Hip Hop with Flavor Flav?
Yeah, what's up with that? I like Flavor Flav. I know Flavor Flav.
What if we did like a tournament audition for like a co-host and we let the fans choose? That's too much.
You ain't going around hunting people to bring them in here and trying to like hunt people down and audition people. Like, whatever, man. Episode 57. What's today's date, Raymond?
It is the 17th.
16th. It is August 16th.
Oh, it's August 16th.
It's August 16th. So how many? August 16th, 98 is when I debuted in WWE on a Sunday Night Heat. How many years ago is that?
24.
Are you sure? Because you thought that it was a 70s. So it was 24 years ago?
Yeah.
Against young Scotty Too Hottie. Do you remember my debut?
In the leather jacket.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
How many times did I wear the leather jacket?
One.
Just one.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
You spoke about it on here.
Oh, we spoke about it. I don't need to talk about it again now.
You didn't get into detail about the debut.
But,
You just remember that leather jacket.
Yeah, man. How fast time flies, 24 years. So I went from a leather jacket one day, one show against Scotty Too Hottie. So they said, get rid of the leather jacket and to just the white puffy shirt. And then eventually, that's all that changed, I think, to the puffy shirt. The chalice got a little bit smaller, but that was good. But I was thinking back, 24 years. Man, time really flies. They called me on a Friday afternoon. So I guess I got to go run back to where I'm going to get to with the story. But I had a tryout for WWE. They sent me to the Funkin' Dojo, Dory Funk. So you'd go there I believe it was 2 weeks. Maybe it was a week, but I think it was 2 weeks or a week and a half. They'd fly you into Stamford, Connecticut. They'd put you in a Holiday Inn or something like that. I believe I had to share a room. Maybe it was with I can't remember who I shared the room. He passed away now. I can't think of who it was. Oh my goodness. Bad on me. With there, I did the dojo and all that, and then I went to right from there. I went to All Japan for a week. And so when I did that dojo, I remember they had me come in on my lunch breaks and give different people tryouts, like Eric Watts, Dan Severn, they wanted to look at. And then the whole week and a half or 2 weeks that I was there, they'd ask me, what do you think about Andrew Martin Test, who they ended up hiring, or Matt Bloom, who now runs the whole NXT down there, or up there in Orlando, up there from here, down for most people, but in Orlando. They were just asking me about all these random people, what did I think about, they'd work good with the company, this and that, but they never asked me about myself. I never once said, hey, do you want to work here? Do you want to do anything? Nor did I ever, I didn't say I wanted to work there, but being at the tryout, I would assume they showed that I wanted to be there, or at the dojo, whatever the camp. So I did all that, and then the biggest thing I took from that, pride-wise, was Dory Funk knew I was going to Japan. He put a email out on a message board, and it said subject David Heath and hard work, and he put in this thing how I was the first one up to the ring, last one to leave the ring, first one in at the camp, and last one to leave daily. That the Japanese people should be very happy with me. So that was the only thing I heard positive out of there. I didn't hear you did a great job, kid. So Dory, but just that I worked really hard and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a big honor for Dory Funk to put that out there in the public on a message board for Japan and stuff like that. Then I went over to All Japan, and I was over there about a week, and they told me that I would only be in opening matches, the second match. Not to get my hopes up. This was John Laurinaitis. He's the one that brought me on. And but whatever. I was just really grateful to get back over to All Japan. I started in All Japan as the Black Hearts, did 2 tours, and then had a falling out with my partner, and then did dozens of tours of IWA or whatnot with the new partner or as a Vampire Warrior and stuff, which, you've heard the karate stories and all different things throughout time about that journey. But then we're back here to 98 now, so I'm going back to All Japan. It's just David Heath, or Dave Heath, I think they call me. Just trunks and boots. I had little abs and some, was in shape and working hard. So I go there, little let down that I never heard anything like about me from WWF at the time, or it's WWE now, but and they asked me about it. Like, my phone is just blowing up there, Raymond. But I was super pumped to go back to Japan for All Japan and to prove myself again. So I go over there. I'm there about a week and a half in, and Johnny Ace comes up to me and says, I got some good news and some bad news. In a sense, it was just good news all the way around. But like, he says, Giant Baba wants to offer you your contract to tag with Bobby Duncan Jr. over there and have a run for the all Asian straps and stuff like that. He said, but WWE has a contract waiting on you too at home, which turns out wasn't necessarily the truth. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe somebody lied to him, or I don't know. But I had to make a decision because I had to let Mr. Baba know or let them know what was going on. And so that was a tough one. I really wanted to stay in All Japan, but Luna at the time was in WWF, and so she was heavily persuading me, like, oh, you need to come here, which I think now, 24 years later, and I'm still wrestling as Gangrel, was probably the right choice, But at that time, I just really wanted to prove something. I wanted to. I just wanted to stay in Japan. Like, I really loved All Japan. I mean, I started out there. It didn't go the greatest. I was very inexperienced, very green. Didn't belong there. Very young. But now I felt I was ready. And then they showed me that by offering me like a contract a week and a half in on the tour. When I was getting ready to say, I was just only supposed to be opening match or like second match, really low in the card. But what happened was somebody's flight didn't make it. A lot like WWE, when I got the tryout to end up in the camp, was Brian Christopher's flight didn't make it. But in Japan, somebody was late coming in for the trip, so I filled in the semi-main in a tag match. And man, I didn't leave that spot that whole trip pretty much. I stayed right there and then earned a spot, got offered a job. So things worked out great. I was high on life, super happy, super stoked to be back in Japan, and everything going good. It was just a dream come true. And at the same time, WWE said they had a contract, or WWF at the time, and I had to make a choice. So going back and forth on the phone for like weeks and weeks on end with Luna, like, I'm telling her, I said, I really just want to stay in Japan. She goes, you got to think long term, come be with me, TV in the States, whatever. The conversation went out on her end, and I ended up going to, I told Johnny Ace that I was going to go with WWE. And this was the last tour that Steve Williams was on too. So like, Dr. Death, he was leaving All Japan. And it turns out Johnny Ace left All Japan at the same time because he was a liaison. So there was a whole lot of John Laurinaitis, you all might know him as, a whole lot of shadiness going on his end. He was like jumping ship too. So like, all three of us ended up going over to WWE. But so they told Mr. Bob I was gonna go, and I finished my tour out, and it was a great tour and awesome tour. And then I head home, and I'm looking for this contract that they told me was waiting on me in the mail. They said, "Oh, it's been mailed to you." There was no contract mailed to me.
There was no meetings. It was bullshit or something. It put me on the spot to give an answer. I think because Mr. Bob wanted an answer, and they did want me. But there was no contract. And then they tried to get me to sign a developmental thing, this and that. But whatever. I'm not even sure I even signed it at first. I'm pretty sure that I didn't sign it. They sent me something. I went home. They told me that, we're not going to use you for like a year. You're going to just sit home and do nothing. I'm like, what? And then like in the process of me, I hadn't signed a contract yet. In the process of all this, I was only home a week, and Vince Russo called. And then I got to rewind you back to a time before I tell you what this is. Prior to
being in this dojo or even being sent to this dojo, Vince McMahon himself came to me, and I said vampire face permanently bonded in, fangs, and I had like a mohawk, and it was a little bit heavier than what I was in '98. And he said, lose the weight, get rid of the fangs, and grow some hair, and we'll give you a job. And true to the fact, I did all that, and he saw me in Anaheim wrestling Taka Michinoku on a house show, filling in for Brian Christopher, whose flight didn't make it. And I did that Impaler DDT, and the whole building popped. And they said Vince just happened to be walking by and looked and said, who's in the ring? And they go, David. And he goes, send him to the camp. Just like that. That's how I got sent to the camp. And then, so I did all that time in the camp. They didn't tell me anything. They just asked me about everybody else. I gave other people tryouts, this and this and that. And then nothing. And then went to All Japan. Boom. I got offered a deal there. And then Johnny A said they had a deal here. So I ended up telling them, All Japan, that I was going to go home. All right, we're caught up now. Go home. And I was going to sign with the WWS. But then there wasn't really a contract there. And then it wasn't really even, it was a developmental. But so I'm sitting home. Now, I've committed to this. I haven't signed it. But then they gave Vince Russo a little bit of control. And now with Vince McMahon saying he would never use the vampire thing, this was a weird phone call for me because Vince Russo goes, hey, bro, can you still do the vampire gimmick? I go, I don't have that fangs, but I said, sure. But I didn't know. This was like a Friday night. He's like, okay, I'll see you TV on Sunday. I'm like, what? Like,
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. So they came up with all that entrance, that music, that stage, the fire. I came up with the wardrobe, everything you've seen on that Sunday night heat from a Friday night to a Sunday. Like really Saturday because it had to be done before I ever flew out. I flew out Saturday. So to TV. So like Friday night, Saturday morning I was scrambling. And Saturday afternoon I flew out. So I ran right to Hot Topics. What would a good vampire do back then? It wasn't mainstream back then. They had really cool stuff. Now it's just garbage. But to me, it is. It's not as cool as it used to be. It might still be cool to like the newer generation, but it's not the same. Even though I do have a shirt in there, you can find MLW's merchandise in there and Gangrel. You know, I have a shirt and Hot Topics.
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
What's that?
They dropped it like about 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, they dropped it, but you know, I didn't sign anything. I didn't tell them they could put my shirt in Hot Topics, but it's in there. But I might have to go buy my own shirt at the retail price. I can't even get one. I don't know what's going on. Then they reached out to me and said they want to do action figures. I go, I didn't sign a deal on that either. We got to talk about that. Like so. Yeah, but they have a collection of action figures coming out with the MLW people, which is very cool for MLW. A lot of guys that don't have, never had an opportunity to have an action figure. I was very blessed that I have a few of them, and very, very cool opportunity for a lot of people. So rewind back, I run out the Hot Topics, I figure out some fangs. There's a Hot Topics, and back then, next to every Hot Topics, right next door to Hot Topics was a Journeys. I don't know if you remember Journey's shoes though.
It's still
so it's still like that. Like,
it's still just like that.
So I went from Hot Topics and the Journeys to find some shoes, some boots, because I want to be different. So I found the new Rocks that I wore, but I didn't get to change the bottoms on them because this is like a Friday night, like last second, because they called me on Friday afternoon. So they still had the thick sole on them and stuff. You know how the new Rocks have big, thick soles.
Those rubber soles?
Yeah, big ones. So I throw all that together, I fly out, and Sunday we're there at the TV, and they're like, oh, we got this cool entrance. We got to do a walkthrough. It's the elevator. They come up through the fire and everything. So that was, 24 years ago today, huh?
When you first seen that entrance, like...
Well, I didn't first see it because I was in it. I had to do it first, then see it. Like, I didn't get to see anything because they just had me do a dry run, and then I did the show. So I went up the elevator once. The next time I went up it was showtime. Like 2 hours later, like when the show kicked off. So
yeah, no time to process any of this.
No, nothing. Like it's just like boom. And I remember getting in there to do the first dry run, and everybody tells me I'm crazy, and I know I covered this. I covered this here. As soon as I hear the music hit, I go because they asked me what did I picture my music. This was on a Friday evening too. What did I picture my music being? And I go, well, I don't know. I said I really dig this song. The Toadies, Possum Kingdom, and they're like, oh, cool. So Possum Kingdom, if you ever listen to it, it almost has that whispering, like backmasking sound that mine has, and then when it kicks in, and it's got a really good rip to it and everything. So as soon as I heard the music kick, I go, oh, they took it from Possum Kingdom, but nobody hears it but me. I don't know why I'm the only one that hears it, but I'm telling you, they just slowed down guitar riffs and sped stuff up and changed it around. But I'm telling you, I hear Possum Kingdom in that entrance. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but like I'm telling you, I gave them that music. And as soon as I was in the hole of that pit, the pit of hell, to raise up to come into the world of hell, you know. I heard that, but so we'll get to that entrance. So we do the dry rehearsal, and it comes up, and they go. It's an elevator. It's a scissor lift. This is gonna have a little shimmy, and then it comes up, and then it'll lock, and then you gotta go. Well, I did the dry rehearsal. There was some fire and everything, but it wasn't quite as big. The arena was lit. It wasn't dark and everything. So boom, I come up. I could feel it shimmy. I walk through the fire. I walk down the ramp and do the blood thing and stuff. I didn't spray it or anything, but just walk through it. Then that was it for that rehearsal. It was one and done, and then comes showtime, and that's a whole different animal, you know. Like there's people in the arena, it's full of people, and then it's not like they did later when I would come out, or today even on shows where they pop right away. It was like they were like just staring, like, what is this guy? Because you know the fire starts up, you know, I'm coming up the elevator, so I'm riding up the elevator, and I start seeing the people, but there's no like it's just like they're like looking like what, like, you know. And then I think Scotty may have already been in the ring.
Yeah, he was.
So I come up, and I'm waiting to feel that shift in the elevator so I can feel the next one lock and then go. So with all my nerves and the fire, the flames being even higher, and the arena dark and all the people, I thought I felt the shift. So I go slide to walk. I go turn to come off. Stage left, you know. House left, stage right. Well, stage left, house right. So I go to left to walk across the fire, and then, whoo, I can't go. The elevator hadn't shifted yet. There was still a gap in the elevator, like not a foot, but like 6 inches. Enough to fit that boot in there, my boot. And my boot slid right in between the stage and that elevator lift and locked. And it was crushing my toes. And I was stepped over, and I couldn't pull my left foot. And the fire was coming up. So I'm holding my chalice. Come on, palms, I'm on fire. My foot. You know, and this is like your debut moment. So you couldn't have told me, you know, it was taped, but in my head it's live, you know. So I'm thinking the whole world is seeing this, and this is how the debut goes down. My foot stuck between the elevator and the stage, and I'm burning up on fire. The flames are coming up around me, and I'm like pointing at my feet. Looks like I'm pointing at my balls because the fire is up in my crotch. And they back it down. I get my foot out. I get up to the ramp, and then I'm not supposed to smile. They didn't want me to smile, but I smiled anyways, even though my foot's crushed. And then I go to walk down the ramp. And I've explained this on other things, but here's where the walk came from. It's because my foot was crushed. If I would have had wrestling boots on, I probably would have lost my toes. But because I had those thick soles on and stuff still, I had a lot of cushioning in there. My foot was black for months. My toes.
For months?
Yeah. So when I went to go down the ramp, I had a limp. My foot, I was like, oh. So that's where that swag came from, that little walk that I have. It was because I was walking on a grizzled foot. Like, my foot was crushed from that ramp. So everybody goes, oh, that's a cool walk you got. That's a cool swag you got. Little did they know, that's a broken-ass foot walk. Like, my foot was crushed. And I walked down there and did my thing. And then the rest is history 24 later. So I never looked back. But, yeah, then from that point on, I had the black jacket that night. They said, lose the jacket. And I think the black jacket I wanted, not so much the puffy shirt, but they wanted the puffy shirt, which it worked at the time for me. I don't think it worked so good for Christian. He went from a white one to a black one because he's a smaller guy, so the shirt kind of made him look smaller. But on me, it kind of I was in shape then. I wasn't heavy then or anything. I was 228, but it still was more flattering for my body type and stuff, the way it flowed and everything.
What's the blood? It looked dope on the white shirt.
With the blood spraying and it's iconic. Yeah, I just I don't wear the white shirts now because they don't make them the same. I got them from Hot Topics. They were morbid threads or morbid shirts. But they've changed the style of them. They don't make them the same. They don't fit the same. To get an extra large, you got to order like a 3X. Sizes have changed wherever they're making them. I don't know. So it's very hard to wear them, and then they're $40 a pop, and they're crappy ones. So, I tell promoters all the time, if you want the white shirt, you find it. Even if it's a crappy one, I'll wear it, sign it, and leave it with you. But I'm just not going to hunt down, spend that money to ruin it in one show and go on and not be happy in that shirt. So I wear black now. But with a lot of things evolve, and that's where I went with that. But that's hard to believe that was 24 years ago, sticking my foot in an elevator and catching my balls on fire, walking down the ramp, beating up poor Scotty. So
on top of everything else, I wasn't I was as bad back then as I am now about not watching the product, and so like I didn't realize Scotty had this whole routine with the worm and the swoosh that he did. Mm-hmm. He went to go do his thing, and I just cut him off and DDT'd him. I felt so bad later, you know, because Scotty is a great guy. Scotty Too Hotty. He's out there killing it right now. You know, he's torn. Most of his time's been in the UK lately, but Scotty Too Hotty, man. So I'd like to thank you, Scotty, for that first match and being so patient with me, and me having on boots with heel, you know, thick boots, and just squeezing into some Hot Topics suede. I think they're black I had on that time. I wore black, blue, and purple, but I think it was black that day. And the white puffy shirt and the whole working the whole Vampire Gangrel thing out. The Gangrel part of it. I had been working as Vampire Warrior for a while, but like working the whole Gangrel stuff out. But hard to believe. Today, August 16th, 2022. But that was in 1998. How much time flies. And I'm still...
24 years.
24 years. I'm still blessed to be in the ring pretty much 7 days a week, running a wrestling school Monday through Thursday, and wrestling Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This weekend I'm supposed to be in Panama, but it looks like I may have a weekend off. Unless I tiptoe around CCW and sneak into the Kumatai. Because I'm a...
Kumatai?
Yeah, like Bloodsport, right? So get this, CCW, I think they only got I don't even know if they have any tickets left. It's the 20th, this Saturday. They're taking the ropes down off the ring, right? And just putting a steel cage up on the ring. And just every match is a gimmick match, like a kendo stick match or...
like an extreme rule.
Well, yeah, it's just every match is some kind of extreme rule. It's not death matches or anything like that, but just cool different stipulations. Everything's stipulation match, but no ropes in a cage. And they're calling it like Kumatai, I guess, like Bloodsport. And you watch Bloodsport?
No.
So I could be pronouncing it wrong. It could be Kumate or Kumatai.
Akuna Matata.
What's that?
Akuna Matata.
Do what?
Akuna Matata.
What'd you call me?
Coon.
Well, I don't know. Kumatai. Whatever. August 20th. CCW, Pompano Beach, Florida. Be there. Kumatai live. Yeah, I think it's sold out. I think they had like 10 tickets left last night. So probably the time you hear this podcast, it's either be the time that a show's going on right now or whatever. But I may try to sneak in there and see if I can. I know they might have a multi-tag match. I don't know what to do. I don't have weekends off very often. And then Susan and Anna are both going out of town. Anna's going to be doing Mission Pro out there in not El Paso. Is it El Paso or San Antonio? Out in San Antonio. So. And then I fly out Wednesday to the Bay Area because I got Wrestling for Autism with Joey Gayton out there at TMD. And then I got a seminar on Saturday morning. I'm going to go to Yankees Oakland game Friday night. And then Saturday night with Icebox, Tony, and Maria out there, Stars of Wrestling, which got the Hall of Fame. I'll be back out there for that show, Stars of Wrestling at Alameda Point, at the Alameda Point Gym in Alameda on Saturday night. So I don't know if I should just take this weekend off and keep low and hide, or should I just show up and put on some blue jeans and say I want to be in one of those stipulation matches.
I think you should just show up, just wreak havoc.
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll just run in on every match, climb in on the cage. They better have a cage door. I'm not climbing in and over any cages. They got to have a cage door. But I know Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, so Wednesday they're gonna be in there setting the cage up and locking it in. So got to get the classes going tonight and tomorrow early before they come in there and lock it down for the event this Saturday. Look at a lot of the kids, young talents, looking forward to it. I don't think they know what they're into or in for, but the fans seem to be looking eager to see something different. So see what happens.
I mean, but this.
Oh man, I almost drank my coffee backwards right now.
But going back to the debut. I mean, it just goes to show always being ready at the right time. I mean, there's, how some people wait for the right time.
Right.
But you seem to be always there at the right time.
Well, because I wasn't all the time, though. I was ready then. But prior to that, I was never ready. But I happened to be ready then. And then, but later, when injuries came and they left me home, I would gain weight back or it'd fluctuate. I'd start not being so strict on diets. And then they called one time and said, hey, we need you at TV. And I said, oh, okay, let me go 10 real quick and try to drop some weight.
And then I didn't hear from him. Like, so that wasn't the right thing to say, not being ready. So you do got to always stay ready. So now I do stay ready now, from just because of that one thing. And then they didn't call back. And like, I didn't lose a job or anything like that. But whatever they were thinking of, they were like, oh, they passed on it because I didn't sound like I was ready in my own head. So now, the 6 P's, I live by the 6 P's. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. So I stay constantly ready and on point. I mean, it might not look like it, but I try to stay fired up. I battle weight. It's gonna be a battle the rest of my life. But physically and in the ring, actively, Russ never sleeps. So when I'm running those classes, I'll get in the ring too, and work. Just keep the body moving. So you do got to be ready and on point all the time. So yeah, that's very important, Raymond. You always got to be ready, man. You got to stay ready. It's not. They say it's not just an attitude; it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle, and that's true. Pro wrestling has no seasons like football. Oh God, you see how poor. Oh, what's his name? Oh, Marshall Lynch. Seattle. Never mind. That's another thing. A lot of these NFL players have been going off the hook lately, getting in trouble, like DUIs and stuff like that. But like a football season, you have a season. UFC fighters, you have
break. Time in between fights. Boxers have.
Oh, I thought you said break. I was drinking coffee. So what did you say now?
Oh,
time between. Yeah, they have a break. Oh yeah, I thought you said break. I was gonna take a break. Okay, whatever.
No.
I thought maybe the cameras got hot or something crazy or something like that.
Break in between fights.
I was ready to leave too. I was gonna say, all right, I'm out of here. I don't even smoke, but I'll go outside. Yeah, they have time off between fights. They'll train for 3 months, for a fight, and they'll take a couple weeks off after one. Wrestling, you're on TV every day. You gotta be ready. You have there's no season. It's 24/7. Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. You're all in, or you're all out in professional wrestling. And wow, it's so good to say professional wrestling, not worrying like, oh, did I piss Vince off or something?
They used it in a promo yesterday. McIntyre.
Oh, Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
So I don't care if you're a sports entertainer or superstar. It's like we're pro wrestlers and we're here to wrestle.
Oh well, I'm glad you saw it. I only saw the opening of the show, which was the thing I was so looking forward to, Judgment Day, and now like I could care less if I see it. I mean, I still like Damian Priest. I think he stands out, but like, it's just not the same without Edge. His promos carried it. His ability to talk and merge himself into that character. Like, and now they just like it. They remind me of me. Like when I hear my old promos, how like I just was clueless about how to deliver this promo or how to get something across. I was struggling. It seems like they're struggling. It doesn't seem so natural to me. And but Damian Priest, I still think is the closest. And I love Damian Priest, and I just love Damian Priest. But I just think it's just missing something without Edge there. I know that they're feuding Edge. I don't know. Maybe I'm praying for a big swerve, and he turns it back around, and they turn, and maybe Edge cripples the Mysterios. I don't know. And then I see Judgment Day and Edge against the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I'm still calling it. I'm still calling it.
See it. I see him as a backstage figure.
No, I want to see him go out against Taker. WrestleMania. I want to see him beat Taker too.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
I want to see Randy Orton come back as a dark character.
But I don't know. Bray Wyatt will probably pop back up. People like you'll talk about it one week and it gets quiet. You talk about it one week, it gets quiet. So I believe he's gonna pop back up soon.
Going back to all your debuts and everything,
I'm running on coffee, Raymond.
Is anything ever long-term planned in wrestling, or is everything like sporadic?
I was sporadic because I was Vince Russo. But the bigger angles back then, they were all long-term. They knew where they were going.
Okay.
One WrestleMania, as it wrapped up, they knew where they were already going the next WrestleMania. So, no, they were long-term. 3 months at the shortest, Things change, of course. Injuries or somebody fails a drug test or whatever, some violations or punishments or something like that. Sometimes things change, but they pretty much know where they're going. They did then. Now, I don't know. If I watch AEW, I'm so confused. I start seeing one person and understanding what they're doing, and they're gone again. And then somebody else will be there, and then I'll start trying to figure that out, and then they're gone again. It's just really hard to
follow.
really hard to follow, sort of. WWE, good or bad, they were really good at telling stories and putting video packages together. So you could follow it even if you didn't, even if you just turned on the pay-per-view and watched it a little bit prior that day, you would know what's going on. You didn't have to watch it. You could just turn it on early that day and watch the pre-show or the packaging and stuff and know exactly where they're going. They definitely know how to tell you a story and keep you on track there. But again, I'm still looking for Hunter to shake things up. I don't think he shook it up yet. It's still kind of the same a little bit. I mean, he had some surprises with Dexter. We talked about that, I think, and Karen Cross coming back and stuff like that. But I really think they need to shake something up again here. So we'll see what happens. But I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's going to happen.
It's probably a lot on him mentally, too, because his wife has a new role, and his father-in-law is still in the middle of something. So it's probably not.
It's time for him to shine, man. He can do it. He's a former wrestler. And he came up under Vince, so he knows what he needs. He knows what it takes. And he likes wrestlers, so guys that can actually wrestle are going to have a chance. You know, it's not going to necessarily be just all big guys. You know, Vince is going to want big guys that look a certain way, either good looking or scary, whatever. But Hunter's going to be more lenient to like guys. He might like big guys too, but he's also going to like guys that have talent and that can actually wrestle and know how to mix and get the best out of them. In that sense, so really looking forward to what's going to happen there. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it, what I'm looking for, but I'm sure it's coming.
Do you think he should, or he's going to have a last official match, like a retirement match?
Who?
Triple H.
I thought he was done. I thought he left his boots in the ring.
But
what?
In my head, it wasn't a proper send
A lot of people says it is what it is. Like, all right, then what was it? His heart or something with his heart, right? Yeah, no, you can't mess with your heart, man.
True.
You can't mess with your heart. You get out there. He's got kids, beautiful kids. He's got a company to run. He's got stuff. He's still heavily involved in wrestling. He may miss being in the ring a little bit, but I think he's so damn busy, he probably doesn't have time to miss being in the ring, you know. He can live through all the young guys. He goes out and finds great talent and grooms them and pushes them. You live through that, you know, and you can still get the same high and rush. I realized that in the wrestling school. When each one comes in and I see somebody doing great and they go out there and they nail a match, or you give them something, a finish or some direction, and they put it into play and they nail it. It's just like you nailing it. You live through them, that energy, man. I don't think I'm gonna have to necessarily keep wrestling forever if I keep training, because I can live through all the other guys. I just don't want to go through all the hurt again, like their ups and downs, you know, all the heartaches. So I try to save them the heartaches by not shortcutting them, but smarten them up to the dangers in the road and different things that I had to go through. But yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. So what else you got going? You got Pandora's phone box today or anything?
Yeah,
of
course.
What? Yeah, it's about time for that Pandora's. Is the phone or the box? I know you wanted to talk about. You don't have it up there. Some Wrestle Kingdom or Clash at the Cardiff or. Castle Grounds. What WrestleMania? What is it?
Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle. CAC.
Yes.
Cauliflower Ear Club. No.
What?
Cauliflower Ear. CAC.
Yes. It's
Clash at the Castle.
Premium live event.
What?
They don't call it pay-per-views anymore. It's a premium live event.
All right, pay-per-view. And, premium because they don't charge. Because if you have the network, you get it for free. Or you don't get it for free, but you get it for whatever your fee is.
It's not technically a pay-per-view.
Whatever. So it's in Cardiff, Wales, which is a beautiful place. St. David's is a great resort. Stayed there a few times. Had a great time. A lot of good times in Cardiff. I don't think I wrestled any big stadiums or anything in Cardiff. I've wrestled there, but I think they were in smaller venues. I don't think it was for WWE or anything like that. It might have been. It might have been WWA, actually, World Wrestling All-Stars or whatever that was, Andrew McManus, whatever that company was called, Wrestling All-Stars. But no, I've done some not huge stadiums there, but I've been in Cardiff. It's an amazing place. So what's on the card? What's going on with that card?
Well, the main event is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
All right, so they're going to beat Drew in this Cardiff, Wales. That's kind of close to Scotland up there.
You don't think he's going to defeat Roman to become the undisputed?
I don't know. Why? Roman leaving or something? I miss a memo?
Not that I know of.
I don't know. He's going to I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, why? You think so?
No.
Well, okay. Then why are you asking me?
But I just don't think it'll be a clean finish.
I don't know what to think because I haven't really followed this. Like, so you're saying that they're doing this for mostly for the UK fans because they don't get WrestleMania? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they haven't got a pay per view in a while, and they've never gotten WrestleMania.
They used to get them all the time. What was it like? Was it In Your House or No Mercy or something like that? One of those pay per views. I know we would do it in London on a Sunday, and finish it, and then get on they'd have private planes like private jets, and we'd jump on that and fly all the way back to New York City for a Raw on Monday. That was crazy. So they used to get pay per views and stuff like that. But it was that's some wild times, good times, and drinking on those planes and stuff. There was no plane flights from hell because but could have been potentials for stuff like that then. But no, that's cool. So what else is on the card? Yeah, I'm curious to hear the card. What's the card?
It's not even fully out yet, but
when is this? Is September 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 weeks away. This is the 16th.
They've already sold over 65,000 tickets.
Well, good for them because they don't get much over there anymore. Big events.
So I feel like the fans,
don't they have AEW in Wembley or something coming up, or at Arthur Ashe Stadium, or where's AEW? Aren't they already happened?
Yeah, that happened last year.
No, but I thought they have a pay per view or something coming up in England now. So.
No, I could check, but I don't.
I see. I can't keep track of nothing.
I know they have a pay per view.
After this podcast,
on the 4th.
I'll get me a host to watch this one wrestle so we can talk. Or a host or co-host or whatever you want to call it, but
yeah, they have one in 2023.
What's it called?
Just AEW. They have no name for it.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have one, but 2023 is not that far away now. That's it.
And Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan for the women's championship title.
Oh, they might put Shayna over, huh?
You think so?
Oh, I don't know. She's pretty big. Scary.
Then have her versus Ronda in the future.
Maybe MMA. That'd be cool. But all right, let's get on to that. What's in the box, man?
Got you.
and again, it should hopefully be the last week. You just got to look at my mug. Hopefully, a little bit of a maybe more handsome individual sitting over there next to me. I don't know. I know he said he was down. I just got to go seal the deal and pick up the game of the show, and then we'll do some other things.
All right, so if you could go back and become any other supernatural character other than a vampire, what would you be? And this is from Crystal.
For who? From who?
Crystal.
Miss Crystal. If I can go back, Gangrel, and be any other supernatural character, but not a vampire, what would I be? Well, it wouldn't be a fairy. Because True Blood really drove me crazy with the fairy stuff towards the end of the season. Although I hear they got another spin-off of True Blood coming, some more vampire stuff.
Probably get you in there.
About werewolves. Although werewolves are pretty cool, but I don't know. Supernatural. Definitely not a zombie. Definitely not a zombie. Cannot stand zombies. But they're not even supernatural, are they?
No.
Well, supernatural. So, like, what about Doctor Strange, the guy that could do things with his minds and stuff?
No. That's already the Undertaker.
That's Undertaker is not nothing. Undertaker. He's a dead guy. He's a zombie.
He does supernatural.
He's basically a zombie. Undertaker's a zombie.
Not a zombie.
He doesn't do things with his mind. What does he do with his mind?
Makes the electric come from the sky.
He's a zombie. Is Undertaker a zombie or not? What is Undertaker really?
Wow.
What was his supernatural ability? He was an Undertaker. He buried people.
He's a dead man walking.
He buried a lot of dead man walking. What's that? A zombie. He didn't have fangs, so he wasn't a vampire.
I don't like this.
Vampire would have been the undead. He's a zombie.
Wow.
There it is. Get mad, world, whatever. You want to get mad at me, whatever. Raymond is obviously upset and going to lose some sleep over this tonight. But Undertaker is a zombie. Tell me what he is.
I got to sit on this. I got to think about it.
Think about it.
Can't just say
I would be a werewolf. Even though that's like my mortal enemy, kind of, right? Is it the vampire's enemy? But I think a werewolf.
A werewolf?
Yeah, they're cool. They howl at the moon. They only got to scratch fleas when the moon's full. They're all right.
So you would have to... You couldn't be clean-faced. You'd have to grow everything out.
Oh, only on a full moon it would grow out, and then it'd be gone. You could look normal, and then the hair grows in the moon, and then it's gone the next day.
So Thriller, basically.
Just the Thriller. Yeah, Thriller. Michael Jackson's cool.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want me to be like? Some ghost or something? What, like,
No, you could have been like a Frankenstein.
No,
Or
that's not supernatural. Frankenstein was built together of other people's parts. Kind of like Undertaker, probably.
All right, we got to get off this topic, bro. All right. Okay, if Jacob Fatu debuted in the WWE right now, who would you set him up against? This is from Navy Derek.
To set him up, I'd have him beat Drew McIntyre, and then
Dang.
to aim him to the feud Roman Reigns, but then not quite win, but then bow down and acknowledge Roman. Give you a whole match and then stop right at the end and acknowledge him and piss people off, and then give him one more person in the bloodline. Like, what?
No, nothing.
You don't think he's gonna fight the bloodline?
Nah, it just seems like some favoritism in there.
Wow, I like Jacob.
Just putting up against Drew to beat him.
We'll have Undertaker come back and you beat Undertaker.
Hey, Undertaker's not coming back.
WrestleMania, Edge.
I think, I don't know.
Maybe he'll come back and run Judgment.
What about Bobby Lashley? Him against Bobby?
That'd be good.
Because Bobby had a good feud
Well,
with
I think he
Umaga.
would have a better match with Roman Reigns, though. I mean, the match-wise, I think he'd have a really good match with Roman Reigns. Not Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, take that back. Seth Rollins, I meant. Him and Seth Rollins, I think, would have a good match. Him and Matt Riddle would have a good match. I think they would match up. They would all like either one of those two. I think they would have good chemistry together.
I guess I said Bobby because of the Umaga feud that they had with the Battle of the Billionaires. I don't know if you remember that.
Battle of the Billionaires?
Vince McMahon versus Trump. You don't remember that?
Oh, Trump's hiding low lately. Things are going on. I don't know what they did. They done FBI at his house and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it kind of hit home.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Close. All right. Do you have any cool stories with the Hardys from back in the day? Anything funny or special? This is from Alan Mock.
Alan Mock. Cool stories. The Hardy. I've already told the headbutt story with Michael Hayes a bunch of times. That was a book, but no, man. They're just cool guys. Jeff was super laid back. Matt was more intense and putting matches together, and Jeff was just kind of like, I want to watch the grass grow and chill. He would say that too. No, man, I don't know. They were not that I can remember. Like every day was a cool day when you're with the Hardys, man. They're just cool, you know. They're cool dudes. Hardy cool, you know. It's a whole other cool level. Man, I've told the headbutt story a million times. I'm gonna tell that again. Michael Hayes, but no, I don't know, man. They were just
Did they ever do any ribbing or get ribbed?
no. They're easygoing guys, man. They ain't mess around with nothing. No, Hardys just cool cats, man. Cool, laid back, good dudes.
You kind of get that vibe from their characters.
Yeah. I mean,
Pretty
every
much
day
all
was a good day. I
authentic.
don't remember any stories like that. My memories
Were you
shot out anyways.
Were you there when they started? Because there's always a rumor like they started before when they were under 18 and they lied about their age.
I was there when they made their own gear. And they was doing jobs and stuff like that, and very much as I was too. You know, I didn't lie about my age, but I think I was 18 when I started doing jobs there. I think I might have been 17 when I did Georgia Championship Wrestling and Florida Championship Wrestling, but I was definitely 18 when I did WWF at the time. But they were around. They came around. I had seen them as I was coming in and out throughout the years. We'd cross paths and stuff like that. And they made their own gear. They come in there. They were just good dudes, man. They were just cool. I mean, I love Champagne, their old buddy, Champagne. He just said hello to me. This morning he liked something on Twitter, but Champagne's a cool cat, man. If you follow the Hardys, man, you got to follow Champagne. He's a preacher now, yeah. He used to be The Rock's personal assistant, PA. Champagne, yeah.
Like a real assistant back
then? Yeah. Like when Rock was blowing up, he was working for him, and I don't know what happened. Had some kind of falling out. I think Rock fired him or something, but Champagne's cool shit too, though. Champagne, I was one time I was supposed to wrestle Marty, old Marty. Champagne, and I thought he was in the ring, and then my music came, I went out, and I went to the ring, I didn't see Champagne. I'm like, where the fuck's Champagne? Where the hell's Champagne at? Marty at, and then I guess they got mad at him in Gorilla or something and sent him home. Like,
So
yeah, they sent Godfather out. He was trying to sneak out the back door. They caught Godfather like leaving and said, "Hey," and then Next thing you know, I hear the Ho Train music or whatever, Pimpin' Ain't Easy, whatever. The Godfather's me. I'm like, what? And they go, oh, the match changed. Old Champagne got booted out of there for something. I don't know. But he's a good dude, man. The Hardys are just good dudes. Every day was a cool day with them. I don't have any cool.
You guys just called the match in the ring? Right there?
Yeah, well, we wrestled each other so much, you know. It was like match A, B, and C or something. Pretty much my ass was getting Ho Train in the corner, like, you know.
So you get paid for just showing up? You don't have to wrestle to make money that night?
I can't remember what the TV deals were. Everybody will tell you a different story, but I don't think you got paid very much for TV. I think it was like $50 or $100. You got paid on house shows. TV was to get yourself over, you know. They gave you TV time. You wanted that TV time to get over, so you would be on house shows and stuff like that, you know. So they do. If you're coming to, if I was wrestling as Gangrel and you came in, they would pay you probably I think it was like $300 or $500 to wrestle that night, and they'd cover your hotel and car. But we didn't get paid. I think we got a draw or something, a very minimal. But TVs was for us to get ourselves over. So when we're on house shows, we draw at the house shows. You know, and that's when the money come in. You get paid by the attendance and head count at the house show. You know,
I didn't know that.
And in the pay-per-views.
Right. Okay. Can you please tell a ghost story? You've traveled the world, and I know you have a ton. It's been a while since you covered one, and this is Brian.
Brian, yeah. I've steered away from the ghost stories. I haven't thought about any in a long time. Tons of ghost stories. Which one you would have told on here or not told on here? It was one time, since I'm going back to Ireland, I don't know if I've told this one about Ireland or not, where we were traveling. I was traveling with a fellow named Big Pete, and there was a guy that what was his name? Lee, I think. He did he was like a fake Kane. They did tribute characters over in England at one point. They had these guys would do shows and they would do tributes, like like they had the fake Undertaker, a fake Kane, a fake Gangrel, but these guys were on this trip. I believe it's for Orig, but we were in Ireland, and we go to walk into this hotel, like a bed and breakfast, this Irish place, and I stopped at the front door and I said, I'm not going in there. And I'm pretty sure it was Big Pete. He said, what's going on, little buddy? I said, I don't want to go in there, man. This place is haunted. It don't feel good. He goes, oh, it'll be all right. I'm pretty sure it was him. We walk in there, and right when you walk in the front door, there's this big old Bible opened up. I said, oh, I know there's a Bible in here for no reason, man. This place has got to be
in the lobby.
Yeah, right at the front door when you walked in, before you even went into the hotel, like in like a foyer, and I was like, man, I just got bad feeling. I don't want to be staying here. And because I had been on TV and stuff before, they were like, oh, there was like you could pick your rooms, and they tried to give me the biggest room upstairs. And when I opened the door to that room, I was like, no way. No way am I staying in here. Like, not that it looked weird or anything. I just had a bad feeling. Just like, it was really bad. So I actually went down and Big Pete took this little tiny room, like a closet. Like, it's a closet. Literally, when you were laying, there was 2 beds in it. Like, literally my hand could be touching him in that bed. You know, that's how close the beds were. That's how small the room was. Your bags were like stacked at the end of one room, or had to be in between the beds, you know. That's how small this room was. I said, can I stay with you in here? But I was not feeling this place at all. I was sketched out. And he's like, sure, little buddy. He's always cool like that. He's like, so everybody goes out. They're out drinking. But I was uneasy. I walked around the hotel grounds, which there was people. They were doing Irish dance stuff there. Thing going on. People doing traditional Irish dancing, like whatever it's called, the jig or whatever. They were dancing. It was dancing, whatever. But whatever, I looked in the window, but I was just like, oh man, it was dark, getting dark, and so I didn't go back to the room. Like I was sketched out. The whole place had me sketched out, and I go in the room, and then I'm laying in the room, like, and I'm seeing like orbs, you know, like out over through the window and stuff, and I'm seeing these things, thinking, man, it's just my imagination, you know. I've got myself worked up here, and then Pete comes in, he goes, "Where'd you go?" I said, "Oh, I just want to go to bed," and he lays down, and then he asked me if I'm all right. I go, I'm all right, man. I just don't feel good here. I feel uneasy here. And then I could still see like these orbs. And I was just sitting there in the blanket and I couldn't go to sleep. And about time he started snoring. He's like 6'8" or something. He's giant and big 300-something pound dude. And you hear this god awful scream. You're like, what the hell? So he sits up, and it was in a room above us, the room they tried to give me, and the lead took it, the fake Kane dude. He took the room, and next thing you know, you hear it banging on our door, boom, 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 and we open the door, and his Lee's this really skinny guy, really white, but he's in his Fruit of Loom underwear holding a Bible, standing there, can I sleep with you guys? Can I come in? And like, what did you see up there? He didn't want to talk about it, didn't say what he saw up there, but he was terrified in that room. And he came in and slept on the floor in between the beds. And it was a long night. You could hear noises and stuff. Like, that place was horribly haunted, man. And
this is in Ireland?
It was in Ireland, yeah. It was in Ireland. And I get to go back to Ireland the 29th and the 30th, the Halloween season. But it was in one of these little country towns off the... Who knows what they did? It was probably some war with Irish and the English or the French or something where they tortured people there. I have no idea. But I knew that place. Before I ever even walked in there, I knew I had a bad feeling. Then when I walked in and saw the big Bible, I go, oh, no. Then when they tried to give me that one room that he stayed in, who apparently some bad shit went down because he come running down to stay with us. And never said what he saw in there. I don't know what he seen or what went on in there, but I just know that place was like horribly haunted, I wish I could remember the name of it. I should have wrote, Al Snow and Cactus Jack, Mankind, or whatever y'all know him as, Do Love, or
they were like diaries.
Yeah, they would write every day where they would stay and what they do. I wish I did that because my memory is so bad now from all the concussions and different things. Sometimes I go in there and I feel like I cheat you of the whole story and stuff like that. I would love to give you like the place and the time and be so in depth about it. But probably make my life a whole lot easier if I knew I was going to be trying to do a podcast and stuff like that. But hopefully I'll get it all, I could talk to somebody when I put a book together at some point and get all that down. But yeah, hopefully that was ghost story enough for you there. But what else we got here before I run off to go teach that old wrestling school?
All right, here's another one. I'm a huge fan of Lex Luger, and my opinion is, and in my opinion, I think it was a mistake trying to make him the quote-unquote new Hulk Hogan. What do you think failed in that, and do you have any personal stories with Lex Luger? This is from Adam Stars.
I didn't know they tried to make him the new Hulk Hogan. Is that when he did the Lex Express and they drove him around on the bus?
Yeah, I guess Mr. USA.
Is that when they were making him the new Hulk Hogan? No, I wrestled Lex Luger lots when I was younger. Just
really?
Yeah. Just in him and Davey Boy were a tag team. I wrestled them a few times. Wrestled Lex in a singles match. But this is just me as like a enhancement. Like a come in there and you bump you a few times and torture rack you. But he was always cool, nice, and he was cool, nice to me, and I don't know if he's known to be the greatest worker, but he had a great body. He looked great, and you'd hear a lot of guys say this or that about him or stuff, but he was never like that with me. But then again, he had no reason to be like that with me. I was going to do anything he wanted, and try to make him look good the best I could. And then I've seen him later. He's a Christian now, and I believe he's in and out of a wheelchair, mostly in a wheelchair. But he seems to have a great outlook on life, and seems to be, he's went through some stuff, man, with all that Elizabeth and all the things dying and all that stuff that went down. And I mean, we all got our paths, and we all make choices, and we got to live with our choices and answer to the consequences. And he has, and he's come out the other end a better person for everything. And I just want to send positive vibes and prayers out for him. But he was always cool to me. He was really good to me.
Good. One more question.
One more.
All right. Do you have any Virgil stories?
Any who?
Virgil stories.
Oh, Virgil.
I don't see many interviews or stories about him, but I find him interesting. I wanted to know if he ever worked the territories before his WWF career. From Gavin T3.
Gavin T3. I'm not sure what Virgil did. I'm sure he did something. I mean, you should just ask Virgil. I'm sure he answer you. I've been around Virgil a lot after things, like on signings after WWE, after his runs, after my runs. It's just he's a little different, but he's super nice to me. I don't have any negative Virgil stories, or I think he does things that I don't know if he does it on purpose or if he just does some bizarre things, but I've never seen it myself, so I can't really say or put him down or put him over or anything like that. I can just tell you that we're always cool. He'd always be like, "What's up, G?" Or he might call me Dave. I'm not sure if he calls me Gangrel or not. I'm not sure. I mean, but he always says hello. Comes up and says hello. He's cool. But I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of Virgil stories out there, but I don't have any. So I'm sorry to let you down, man, Mr. Gavin. But that's about it. That's what I got. I mean, I seen one thing Virgil did, but I'm not gonna repeat that. Like I don't know. You might go to jail. Gosh, I don't have any Virgil stories. I didn't have any Hardy stories, man. Bit of a letdown, but
it just comes to you at the right time.
What does?
Your stories, like organic.
Usually, yeah, when I'm drinking or something. I don't drink that much anymore. You know?
Drink coffee.
Podcast is it's a little later today. It's 1:27 in the evening, but afternoon. But usually we're doing it early in the mornings, and I don't know. Maybe Kid Cadet, she drank once in a while. She drank one time. You brought in something. We put them in the chalices here, but but I don't know, man. Things going on. Check out Kumite. How do you say it?
I have no idea. We didn't even
Bloodsport, man. Whatever it is, Bloodsport. I think it's called Kumite.
Yeah, this Saturday.
I think Kumite. Well, it's whatever. It's August 20th, this Saturday at CCW. You can find it. Go on their page, Coastal Championship Wrestling. Go there, check it out. It's almost sold out. I'm sure, though, you can probably force your way in there. Standing room only. If it's really like that kind of blood sport environment, I'm sure the walls could be lined with people, and there could be, sweat, tears, and blood, whatever, flying with some karate kicks and Kimpo or whatever's going on. Taibo, I don't know. Whatever's going to go on there. It's no ropes. Just a steel cage on a ring.
That's at the brewery?
And everything's stipulation. No. It's at the school. This is at the school.
Oh, okay.
This is at the school. The brewery will be September 4th. The 3rd is be the brewery. That'll be another bash. I think I take on Ariel Levy, the CCW champion.
He's a CCW champion.
He's their champion now, and then so. And he's a jerk now, so gotta be a little worried about him coming on here. I'm like, I don't know how he's gonna act.
I mean,
sure he'll be all right.
If a fight breaks out in here,
it won't break out.
You never know.
Take that championship now. No. So let's see what happens there. Hopefully, no fights will break out in here. Hopefully, he'll be in here before that actually happens. So that will be some interesting chemistry in how this goes down, but I'm sure we'll be fine, keeping on a professional level. And I want to thank everybody for joining. Was it episode 57 of FANGIN and Bang with Gangrel?
Yes.
Sorry you had to suffer through just me alone again, but those days are coming to an end. And we're going to start getting out there doing some cooler things and stuff like that too. Maybe get out to some other different restaurants. Maybe not so much drinking like with Billy Fives at the top. That was like unorganized chaos there. Or organized chaos, I guess. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
Catch you on the flip side.